What's up, Wizards? Mooner's back. Two things. Sorry about the echo. I don't have my normal mic with me, so I'm stuck with this other mic, and it might sound bad, and I apologize for that. Anyways, this is my Kano Classic Constructed Road to Nationals deck tech. I played this over the weekend at my local RTN. I got second place. I built this deck to combat Lexi and Dromai, and it did a fantastic job. I beat 4 Lexis in a row with this deck with absolutely no issues whatsoever. So it did its job. It got me to top 8, where I played another Lexi. Won very convincingly with a little bit of cheekiness that I'll tell you about when we get there. And then I beat a Viserai on turn 2 through AB1. This deck is made to really take advantage of low AB in a meta of low AB, but it does have some tools in there for higher AB. And I'm going over this deck with the expectations that you guys are familiar with Kano and how he plays, and with the basic core of Kano. So if you guys want me to do one of my in-depth deep dive deck techs on Kano and this deck, I would love to do that. This video is not that. I'm just going to be going over the deck really quickly and just get into this and the sideboard and how to sideboard this deck. But if you guys want like an in-depth card-by-card description and in-depth one of my discussions on like I did with like the Weather Vane and the Emperor and the Kano Blitz deck and all that stuff, those videos are just like an hour long, and I would love to do it if you guys want me to do that with this deck. I'm just not like a Kano pro, but I do consider myself to be a pretty good Kano player. But that being said, let's get into the deck. I have my Marvel German Kano. Need him, obviously. I picked him up at Pro Tour 3, and always repping, flexing. So the equipment is pretty stock standard. There isn't anything in here that would be particularly notable. I have Crucible. Comes in for just about every single matchup. Then I have Waning Moon. Comes in for the Wizard Mirror and Icelander. Then I have Rags. Ragamuffin's hat comes into every single matchup. It's the only hat I wear. Storm Striders. It's the only boots I wear. Metacarpus Node. It's the only gloves I wear. And then Spellfire Cloak, Tunic, and Eluvian Constellus. Eluvian Constellus only comes in when we bring in Waning Moon. So the Kano Mirror and the Icelander matchup. Spring Tunic comes into any matchup you expect to go longer than turn 3. So anyone with high AB who's just trying to fatigue you out or just block everything. Any matchup, like I said, that you can't combo off as early as turn 1 or 2. Spellfire Cloak came in for every single aggro matchup. Any matchup that you need that resource and need to go off as soon as possible, Spellfire Cloak comes in. So this is my primary chess piece for this deck specifically. So that's all the equipment. Like I said, pretty stock standard. There isn't anything. There is an argument to run Talismanic Lens in this deck. Not in this deck specifically, but in Kano, if you expect to go into like a heavy fatigue meta or heavy high AB meta, I might consider that. But let's get into the reds. This is a 51 card main deck. So 51 cards. I'm like a main deck kind of guy. I don't like to just like put everything together and then take out cards is what you see fit or anything. I like to build a core and play from my core. I do that with all my decks. Kano's no different. So I start with this core is 51 cards. This is like a little engine package that has a very specific purpose, and it runs like a little engine, and then you just bring in cards for different archetypes and of matchups of how you want to approach it. So these 51 cards stay the same in every single matchup. They never change. And let's get into the reds real quick. So stock standard reds, there's not going to be anything surprising here. 3 Blazing Aethers, 3 Aether Wildfires, and 3 Tome of Aether Winds. These cards stay in for every single matchup, and they never change. These are the only reds that stay in for every single matchup. Just 9. All right, so we have our reds. Then we have our blues. Let's go over our, we'll do our yellows next, sorry. For yellows, I have one Chain Lightning. I only run one. I have 3 Sonic Boom. I am a Sonic Boom truther. I love this card, especially in the aggro matchups. I have 3 Lesson in Lava. These come in every single matchup, obviously. And then the last card I have that I want to talk about, you guys are probably going to all scoff at me in the comments, is 3 Mind Warp. I am a Mind Warp truther. I put this card in because I did not want to run Tome of Findall in this meta. Paying 1 to draw 2 is just bad value for me, as far as I'm concerned. And it blocks 2, and it's just a yellow that I don't like having in my deck. In this really super aggro kind of Lexi Dromai meta. Tome of Findall is only really good when you can get the value out of it by gaining the life. And for me, this is just not the meta for that. So I didn't want to run Tome of Findall. So I was looking at Mind Warp, and I put Mind Warp in, and I kind of like never looked back. This card put in so much fucking work over the weekend, it wasn't even funny. This card, every single time I played it, it did its job, and it did the work it was supposed to do. This card says always take a card out of your opponent's hand every single time. 100% of the time, take a card from your opponent. Either deal 3 damage to them and they lose a card and they get their whole hand shuffled and erased and warped, or they have to block it. So either they're blocking it or they are losing a card from their hand regardless. This card says every single fucking time, take a card from your opponent's hand. This says Lexi. This card says save you 5 life every single time you play it against Lexi. Save 5 life. Save 5 life. That's what this card says. Save 5 life. Try it. Don't at me in the comments. Those are the yellows. And then we'll make some room. And these are the blues. So I have one Eye of Ophidia. I have 1 Potion of Deja Vu. If you don't have Eye of Ophidia, put another Potion of Deja Vu in. This card is super good. I love Potion of Deja Vu. Like I said, this isn't a in-depth. If you want me to do that, I will. But if you don't have Eye of Ophidia, run 2 Potions of Deja Vu. Simple as that. I run 3 Energy Potions. Pretty stock standard. Then I run all of the 0 cost spells. I run 3 Prognosticates. 3 Gaze the Ages, 3 Sap, 3 Aether Darts, come in for and then I went through every single card in my bulk, and for the life of me, I could not find a 3rd Zap. I only had 2. So I was looking for I run 33 blues, and I was looking for another blue. I needed another blue to put in this deck, and I couldn't find one. The stipulations were it had to be blue and it had to cost 0. I did not want to hit it off the top and have to pay for it. So, like Emeritus Scalding was out of the picture, things like that. It had to be a blue 0 cost card. And I couldn't find another Zap. And I couldn't find anything else to put in. I looked at Pry for a minute, and I was like, nah, fuck Pry. So you know what I put in? I put in 1 copy of Read the Ripples. And before you at me in the comments, this card won me a game. So Lexi, what she did was she played Codex of Inertia, and that's the card that says each player takes the top card of their deck and puts it into their arsenal, and then they discard a card, and blah, 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 and then they get an Inertia token, and they get a Ponder token. Well, I didn't have anything in my arsenal just yet because I hadn't found my Wildfire yet. It was only turn 2, and she played this Codex of Inertia on me. So what does she hit off the top? Well, what do I hit off the top from Codex of Inertia? I hit Read the Ripples. It goes right into my arsenal, and I discard a card, but I'm not blocking anyways, so I take all the damage that Lexi throws at me, and then I get an Inertia token, which is going to destroy my arsenal. So I'm like, well, fuck, that sucks. So I play Read the Ripples out. I opt into a Lessons in Lava. Lessons in Lava gets to go into my arsenal. Then I drew 3 blues and a Wildfire and just comboed off straight from there and killed her. And it was absolutely glorious. So her little Inertia thing backfired on her, and it ended up winning me the game. If you're unfamiliar with how that works, it says at the beginning of your end phase, destroy, read the ripples, then opt one and draw a card. So as the player controlling the end of turn triggers, you break the inertia token first, and then it checks that you don't have an arsenal and all that bullshit, and then you break this aura last, and then it lets you opt, and then you get to draw a card and put that card in your arsenal at the end of your turn. So it ended up working out in my favor. Would I run it again? Probably not. I'll probably put the blue zap in, but it was really cheeky and it worked out and it ended up winning me a game. So hey, you know, if it ain't broke, why fix it? Maybe I'll leave it in. It skirts around inertia, and that's pretty cool. So then I run the 1-cost spells. We have 3 Singe. This is in for the Dromai matchup, obviously. I have 3 Aether Flare. If you hit this on the combo, it's pretty dope. I have 3 Quickening. I run 1 Snapback, and I run 2 Scalding Rain. And these are my blues. This is like I said, this is the total core of the deck. These stay and come in for, this comes in for every single matchup and doesn't change. And then we'll get into the sideboard. And like I said, if you don't have eye, just run another Potion of Deja Vu. The sideboard, this is my aggro package. So I bring this in for all the aggro matchups. Low AB, we'll call this the low AB package. I bring in 3 Aether Flares, red. I bring in 3 Snapback, red. And then I bring in 2 Aether Quickening, red, and 1 Aether Spindle, red. So this is my aggro package. This comes into all the low AB and aggro matches. Yeah, enough said. I need the rest of those. So then we have our high AB matchups. So for our high AB, we bring in 2 Aether Quickening. We bring in 3 Spindle. Then we bring in 1 Voltic Bolt and 3 Swell Tidings. This comes into high AB matches. Anyone you expect AB3, even like, yeah, anyone you expect AB3 or higher, these come in. Spindle, Voltic Bolt, 3 Swell, 2 Quickening. And then we have the Dromai package. So let's get into that. And then there's 1 card that also comes into the high AB match that I'll go over in a minute, but this is also part of the Dromai and Lexi package as well. This card actually should probably be main decked, but you don't want to play this card main deck, and I'll talk about it very last. But the Dromai package is 1 Nourishing to either pop a dragon or attack a dragon and get a big hand. We bring in 1 Cindering Foresight. This is so that you can dig for either your Aether Darts, which I bring in 2 of, or your Dampen. So Dampen, Aether Dart, Cindering Foresight, Nourishing, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3 Aether Flares. These come in as well. 3 Aether Flares come in for Dromai as well. And then 1 Aetherize. So this also comes in for the high AB fatigue matchups. And it also comes in for Lexi. So honestly, there are a couple matchups that you don't play this in, but I played this into every single matchup that I played over the weekend. Aetherize is a very interesting choice. I got a lot of questions about it, but whenever I used it, the questions went away. So there's 2 reasons you want to use Aetherize. You want to either use Aetherize if you expect the game to go really long and you need the pitch stack and you expect Oasis Respite. So if you know your opponent is on Oasis Respite and they are going to, you have to pitch stack the game and you want to play out all of your potions and you want to pitch your tomes and your blues and your wildfire and your blazings all to the bottom, well, you want to make sure that you get an Aetherize in there somewhere so that you can Aetherize their Oasis Respite. I can get into the whole thing in the deep dive if you want me to, but this comes into the Oasis Respite pitch stack matches. This also comes into the Dromai match. The Dromai match isn't going to go long enough for you to pitch stack and then do the Oasis Respite, but you are going to see a sand cover or an Oasis Respite in that game. I guarantee you are going to see one, okay? This says no to that. You're not going to pitch stack it. You're just going to draw it, and you're going to say no to their sand cover, and you're going to deal them damage. Okay, that's going to happen. And this also comes into the Lexi matchup. And I was able to, this card says either save 20 life or deal 20 damage. And in the Lexi matchup, this says save 20 life. Because she's going to play Bolt and Shot, and then she's going to try to Rain Razors it to give it go again and extend her fucking turn. And what you're going to do is you're going to play Aetherize on Rain Razors, and you're going to shut her turn down. And that's exactly what I did. That came up in like my second or third Lexi match. I don't remember. I played 4 of them. They were all crazy. But just like clockwork, just like on cue, she played Red Bolt and Shot and then had the Rain Razors. And she played the Rain Razors to try to give it go again. And I Aetherized that shit and shut her turn down like a fucking hypothermia. And it was glorious. So that saved me probably 15 to 20 life right there. Dampen, Aether Dart comes in to kill the dragons. Cindering Foresight comes in so that you can dig into your deck and find your Dampens or your Aether Darts, and then it also boosts them up without having to pay for Crucible. So not only do you get to find it, but your Aether Dart also kills the Thamai without having to Crucible it. So it's pretty cheeky. I really like the 1 copy of Cindering Foresight. I would never play more than 1, but it did do a really good job of being able to, find an Aether Dart and kill a dragon. And then end a turn when it needed to end. Nourishing, there is an argument to bring Nourishing in to other matchups, like super high AB matchups. I've been testing Nourishing against like Rhinar and Bravo, who I expect to be on like AB3 and no armor. The only problem is you don't want to hit it off the top, and I don't like having like multiple whiffs in the deck. I just don't like having multiple whiffs, so I'm not like one of those guys who likes to play defense reactions and things like that. But I do see an argument to playing this against like, well, even though Autumn's gone, Autumn, although he can just Earth React it, and you're screwed anyway. So don't play this against Autumn. I lied, but playing it against like Rhinar and Bravo, I do see a reason for that. But I'm rambling on. If you guys want to see the deep dive on this deck tech, just please let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how stupid I am for playing Aetherize. Tell me I'm an asshole for playing Cindering Foresight. Tell me I'm an idiot for playing Mind Warp. I don't care, but I got another RTN next week, and I'm gonna go win that shit.